Here we go. Hello, good evening and welcome. I've just made the audio peak by saying that rather too enthusiastically. Hello, good evening and welcome to Into the Jaws of Death, episode 17. And let's see, I am going to ask the chap who actually makes notes if he remembers what happened in the last session, so that we can have a little bit of a session recap. Failing that, I can have a go, but his recaps are always better than mine. I'm going to move us into where we are, and without further ado, fire away.
Yes. Yeah, start of the session, we finished clearing out all of the remaining areas of that fortress. There was a few more mechanical doodads hiding around. We also found some potions, some coppers, and sort of stashes of electrum pieces, because everyone loves electrum pieces. And just as we was about to leave, the door in front for the exiting looked a little bit odd, and we were very politely asked if Mr. Colfoot's party could please enter. And we proceeded inside, and it was a very plush waiting room, very similar to what some of us have been in before. Very Art Deco. It was very nice. And then we went into a meeting room where there was a weird angelic type creature, along with several creatures that we recognised before as individuals Borin has killed with his funky axe that he purchased a set of when in the City of Brass. He asked for them without asking the details. There was some runes on them which he never got checked out, but he accepted them nonetheless because he liked them. And that's my view because I'm doing the summary. This was then discussion was had because these axes send souls to the Nine Hells, and ideally it should be more evil slanted creatures that can be converted into their souls into devil troops for the ongoing battle down there. We went through the two mimics. Neither of them were quite evil enough. Just one calorie, not evil enough, and they were dismissed. But the spider seemed to revel in it and got an upgrade. And then this winged individual wanted to see how it performed, and this spider wanted to have a fight. And that's roughly where we were.
Yep, that pretty much brings us up to date. So that means that we are starting this session by rolling for initiative. I have actually installed a new API which will track, which will help to track our initiative order. I've just realised that the token lock is on, which is why it keeps on pinging back. I've turned it off now. There we go. Hopefully it'll work. It's doing it still.
Everything looks a lot clearer.
What's that?
Everything looks a lot clearer.
It does, yeah.
So basically now, although loads of things have appeared in the chat somewhat prematurely, at the end of your turn, what I will ask you to do is you will see a box in the chat, which will say who the last person's turn was, who the current turn is. So it says at the moment, Borin, it's now your turn. So at the end of your turn, there is a button on the right-hand side which says EOT, which means end of turn. And then on the other side, there's one that says POT. And I don't know what the O stands for, but I'm assuming it stands for previous turn. What might POT stand for if it was in terms of reversing the turn order?
Previous order turn.
What's that?
It could be pass on turn.
Say it again.
It could be pass on turn.
It's not, because it goes back one.
Previous order.
Yeah, it sort of sounds a bit weird though, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll work it out. But the fact
These-
of the matter is
yeah.
that you can now reverse the turn order. So
Excellent.
if I accidentally skip past one of you and we need to go back again, we can do that. And I've just accidentally rolled initiative again for the same creature, so I'm going to put it back where it was. What I was trying to do was to reset the round marker. That thing is supposed to be rotating, but it doesn't appear to be. But
Pretty cool.
never mind. Yeah,
Not yet.
this is quite cool. This was recommended in an email from Roll20, which had like their top 10 recommended APIs, and I was like, got that one, yawn. Got that one, yawn. Got that one, yawn. Oh, used that one years ago, yawn. Oh, a new one. And so yes, I immediately installed that, and I recommended it to a couple of other DMs as well, and they were like, oh yeah, it's brilliant. So it is very good. And it will also remove the need to move the POV map, because it should move it should center on whoever's turn it is, which will be very useful, because it means that I can just focus on DMing instead of messing about with the other screen. So
Excellent.
the Devil Spider would like to have you for dinner. So let's see what you make of his invitation. Borin is the first to act. At the end of your turn, please click end of turn. But before that, it's your turn.
Before that, yeah. So I'm gonna try and apologise in advance, guys. I'm really not gonna. I'm gonna really try and not get triggered by the whole soul possession stuff. Apologise in advance if I do. I have come up with a sort of a deal that could work for all parties, providing the DM is generous enough, or the DM god is generous enough. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna break off from the pack because he's next in the line. So I'm just stay with everyone, but I'm gonna ring of ram it. Cover none. No, I only have one charge.
Oh, the spider's got red blood. I'll have to change that. So you blatted the spider with your ring of ram. That's one of your actions. Can you do that? That would take one of your
That's the
attacks.
action.
Wouldn't it? Is that the whole action, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course it is. Yeah.
5 feet. Could I have 5 feet diagonally away, please?
You can. Yes, you can. You can move away. You can take your.
No. The spider. Spider is to move 5 feet away from me when it gets hit by the ring of ram.
Oh, okay. Doesn't it get a save against that? Hold on.
No.
Dun, dun, dun. And is it only 5 feet? Let's have a very quick look.
It's 5 feet per charge.
On a hit, for each charge you spend, the target takes 2d10 force damage and is pushed 5 feet away from you. Yes, indeed, there is no save. I'm sorry I questioned it. I just couldn't remember. So he moves 5 feet back. He's...
Yes, Steve, you're right. We need to fight near more cliffs. I was hoping, when we were on that bridge, I was hoping, please, let me get an angle on it. And then I did, and then it missed. Who's cliff? I'm not going to waste a superiority dice on a quick toss. That is it. I am a turn.
Okay. So... Oh, that's a shame. It has centered my screen on the spider. How about everyone else? Did your view move when it changed turns?
No.
I've got no.
No.
That's a
I've
shame.
got a full room on a screen, so probably didn't need to move. But
At
it's
least
pretty clear who it is.
Yeah. It's pretty clear, but I thought it would
It
center
does
on him.
help our viewers, all 15 of them.
Have we got that many? Are some of those us watching it back again?
Thanks,
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
thanks, Mum.
Yeah. You see, I'm not too worried about the viewing public because I don't think we've got one. Still, anyway, it is more
Hoping to
clear.
come slow.
Well, one day when there's thousands of viewers, I'm sure they will love this. I'm sure we'll have a much better VTT by then if such a thing were to happen. So the devil spider looks at the front row and kind of skitters and clacks its mouth apparatus together, and it moves forward into melee range. Let's see, is he going to stand in front of all three of you, or is he going to not go quite so far? I think he's just going to go... He's going to march straight in front of you, bold as brass. The devil spider is an advanced variant of the giant spider, being as it is quite a lot bigger. Is this huge? This is actually going... Is it 4x4 is gargantuan, isn't it? I'm not... or is that
no,
5x5?
huge. Gargantuan is the largest one, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah. But anyway, this enormous creature is going to attempt to bite two of you.
He's a chunky boy.
He is a chunky big boy. Well, of course, he would love to have his revenge on Borin for sending him to hell, although he is actually now quite enjoying himself. So this is a standard attack. He is going to try and bite
I
you.
did just punch in the face of the giant goat.
So he has bitten you for a total of 17 points of damage. You've passed the con save, so you did all right out of that. He is then going to bite one of the others. So who is he going to bite?
I do now have Indomitable, so that is going to be useful.
That is true. So he is going to either bite Char or Deep now. He's going to bite Char.
That is fine. That is all good.
Here we go. Nom! Oh my goodness, 47 points of damage. Okay.
Holy mother.
He has finished his turn. We'll now move on to Deep.
When I said all fine, not a problem, what I actually meant was, holy mother of God.
Are you already bloodied?
Unlike you, because of your feet, you've got over 100 health. Us mere mortals are a little bit less than that, and I'm a spellcaster.
Oh, nice. Blessings aplenty.
So, I don't know what I did wrong, but it should actually hit Pontos as well. I thought I hit level 3.
Okay. Can you check your spell slots, make sure it's at the right one, and I will.
Sure.
I will manually bless Pontos. There we go. Manually blessing him is slightly less exciting, but it does give him the. It does give him the thing.
But it has that personal hands-on meaning to it.
Oh, he's run all the way round to give flanking, which is a kind and benevolent thing to do against the demonic spider, the devil spider even. A fiendish spider.
When I'm done, I click EOT.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it should move down to the next one. There we go, on to Caribou.
Oh, sorry. Dodgy mouse. Right. So I'm obviously going to run into the space where Deep just came from. And I'm going to attack this spider with my ice dagger. Attack is with advantage. And you... Is he a fire-based spider? Or is...
I would say this is a fire-based spider by its infernal nature. I've just realised that I'm messing about with your spreadsheet while you're supposed to be doing it. I'm just scrolling to the bottom to make sure that you're actually blessed. I can't find bless on there. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, bless is in the calculation.
Is it? Yeah, 1.
Yeah, I was just trying to find it on the spreadsheet. There it is. Yeah, you are blessed. It's just it's not announcing it to the world. I have actually recently fixed this, but I have obviously not rolled out the updated power cards. Well done, Kararuk. Good job.
Can I do one other thing? No, I don't
Yes.
think I can.
Well, it
Well, I
depends
want to
what it is.
somersault onto the back of the spider.
I mean, okay.
Go. Because
I-
there's method in madness.
Let's see, how much movement have you got left? You've got 20 feet of movement left, and you've got a cunning action left. So I'm going to say that you can attempt to jump onto his back by giving me an acrobatics check.
I wouldn't care because how high can spiders jump and how low is the ceiling?
I think that's the least of his worries.
You find out this is a demon version, devil version of a huntsman spider, and it's got a speed of 80 feet.
Acrobatics.
23. Okay, so
No, I meant just like spider, Karok on top, ceiling.
I mean that's an entertaining thought. But yeah, you are on the back of the giant spider.
Sweet. So the thinking behind it is because it's got his little mandibles at the front, his head can't turn around and bite me, or I'll just get stabby on him.
Right, that is one idea.
Cool. And I'm going to hold it. That's me done.
Right. Push the EOT button, and then we're on to Pontos and Chew Bacon.
So you just see me do an amazing backflip or whatever onto this spider.
Wait, does that count as advantage, I guess?
No,
Yeah, I mean you're flanking. You've got flanking, definitely.
You've got deep there anyway.
Is Chew Bacon blessed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Nice. You're getting some good attack rolls today. Ooh.
damn.
That's it.
Okay, this is looking like a damage dealer nominee here. Yeah.
Is that 4 attacks?
Well, that's one from the pig. That's
right.
That's an extra attack from Pontos, which is 1/2 with the flaming axe, and then there's a bonus action attack using the blood red ring of the spider or whatever it's called.
The claws, yes.
Right, it's all your little fancy stuff. Well, my brooch of bleeding will actually start coming into effect this time.
Yes, I keep meaning to actually script that in, but it's actually quite a complicated one. So we'll probably track that one manually. But yes, indeed. Although this technically is not a living creature.
It bleeds.
Well, I mean, fluids come out of its body, but you know, this thing died and came to hell and turned into a devil spider.
principle.
So he's
If
not
it bleeds-
alive. He's a fiend. I mean,
It's-
also we should not assume the spider's gender.
I said it.
However, anything else from Pontos and
No, that.
not Karuk, Pontos and Chew Bacon. That's
You
it.
reckon?
No, all
My
good.
brain works and everything.
Do I need to press something else to move turns?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click EOT in the box just above your first attack, what would be nice would be if it kind of pinned it to the bottom of the chat. But I'm just happy that we have something that we can move through the turn order manually with, to be honest.
Mhm.
Okay, on to Char.
Right.
What's it going to do?
Yeah. after seeing this thing just rip my my sphincter a new one, I'm not feeling particularly good like this. And you just see his form just phase and disappear, almost as if in a heat haze. And you see him phase step over to here, and I'm using my Misty Step as a bonus action.
Cool.
It's like no, and then I'm going to feeling a little bit braver now. I'm going to give it a couple of blasts. The first one I'm going to make it as a hot shot, but I'm not sure if it will necessarily work because from past experience, I know some of the devils in the City of Brass were quite warm-blooded. So, indeed, cats, indeed.
Cool. So it definitely takes some damage.
Yep, that's fun.
But you get the impression that the fire is not as effective as you may wish.
Yeah, I suspect. Yeah, so as an educated person, I kind of get that suspicion, but it's without trying, you never know. Oh, that's nice.
I love the way that the bigger tokens have bigger blood splashes because there's blood everywhere now.
And then I'm just going to walk up to here and just turn to our host and just say, well, apologise for where this has gone, but out of courtesy, I extend the hand over. My name is Char, and you be?
Oh, my name is Felice. It's a pleasure to meet you, Char.
Just trying to be courteous, even in these situations, and just as an excuse for that I'm not hiding, I'm trying to speak to the person.
Definitely hiding.
Says the rogue. Yeah, if I'm on top of me, can't bite me. And
I feel. Hold on, I feel a inspiration coming on there. Why is that not adding the token marker? It is now.
That's another one we can add. Inspiration.
What do you mean?
An inspiration to us all. That's a trophy we could do.
Oh, I see. We'll have to think about. Well, I quite enjoy the trophy bit, but it is but a small part of the overall feast of fun. Right, so it is now Borin's turn. Borin does have flanking. Sorry, Michael, what did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry, I was waiting on your response. But
what?
I swear you said you wanted more ideas in it last week.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm not against the idea because I quite enjoy trophies, but it's I worry that we possibly give undue attention to it, but if we can think of some good fun ones that actually add something, then great. But I don't want to repeat anything we've already got, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Right, gets the girl, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, an inspiration to us all could just be a different name for most valuable player, couldn't it? So it's we have to have something that's unique and different that we can actually look out for evidence of during the game. But it's your turn. Please go ahead.
Giant slaying axe, standard, or did you say I had advantage?
You have advantage because you are flanking with deep. It's quite easy to flank a creature this big, I think.
It didn't allow bless, but I'm hoping that's auto done.
Yes, it's automatic now. It should also give you a line at the top of the chat telling you it's been done, but I obviously haven't rolled out my most recent power cards.
Okay, so that's one. And 2.
Cool.
2 wounds to it, so 2 blood tokens.
Ah, yes, indeed. So let's put the token there, and then I have to.
Those were some pretty bad damage scrolls, though. A D12 plus 4. Plus less.
D12s, D12s for damage. They're a bit disappointing sometimes, aren't they? It's
Yeah, it's
negative trophies. Like Pontos is going to get damage dealer, but we need like how'd you roll so low or something.
It's a trait I seem to have for years, so don't worry about it.
We could have a bad luck trophy, you know, and we could try and find a picture of a frazzled looking 4-leaf clover, you know, to signify the anti-luck.
Isn't that blunder though? Isn't that just your biggest blunder of the week?
Fumbles, yeah. I suppose it could be.
Fumbles.
I'm just going to remind myself how the brooch of the bloody rose works because I can't remember when the blood happens. The fell magic in this exquisite brooch causes wounds inflicted by the wearer to bleed profusely. The afflicted creature must take a DC 14 Constitution save at the end of their turn or suffer bleeding damage. On a success, the effect ends. So, at the end of their turn, so they get their turn and then they do the bleeding, and damage increases with each wound as follows: D3, D4, D6, D8, D10. So that does. I don't know if that actually follows the. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, I think that follows the usual kind of track. I originally created that as a magic item for a Pathfinder campaign. So, although the words are the same.
Does it have to take a DC Constitution save per attack, or just the once?
Just once.
This one.
And if it passes, the effect ends. And if it fails, it takes the bleeding damage. It's one of those ones.
Doing a hit end of turn.
Yeah. Give us. Give us EOT, and then we are on to the Devil Spider.
Okay, yeah, I will end my turn. Cool. Sorry about that.
That's right.
Distracted by him.
There we go. I think anybody can probably click it. I can certainly click it. But that thing looks really scary when it's got occult symbols glowing around it, doesn't it?
Very cool.
It's even bigger.
Yeah, it's probably slightly oversized, really, but you know.
Yeah, it's also on top of Kararuk now.
Oh, yeah. I'd lost Kararuk. Hold on, I will send it to the back, and then we'll be able to see Kararuk standing on top. Hold on, this needs to go to the back as well.
I shouldn't have said anything. Never.
You shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, there's Kararuk on top, holding on for grim death to the carapace of this devilish Spider of Doom. The devilish Spider of Doom is probably going to attack the people who've done it the most damage in this last turn. So that's definitely Pontos, and Char did some damage as well, but Char is bloody miles away. So we're going to have 1 bite attack on Pontos.
As all good spellcasters should be.
This is true. Okay, there we go. So, excellent job with the Constitution save there. But still quite damaging. So we have another melee target. Did Deep actually do any damage? I think Deep just moved strategically to help buff his friends. So that means I'm gonna have to bite Borin. And he does kind of...
Not the thing that's on his back, that's stabbing it in his back. No.
Well, the thing on his back hasn't stabbed him in the back as yet. And
he did 37 to him on the first stab.
Yeah, but that was before he jumped onto his back. So
true.
And the thing is, this thing, I don't know. I'm going to try and decide in a minute whether the articulation of a spider's head will allow it to bite something on its back.
I think so.
Tag and roll.
Oh, it's a miss.
And I am going to use a riposte.
Here it comes. Oh, he even pronounced the T.
Yeah, but the O was an ooh.
Riposte.
True.
Do I still get advantage for this?
You are flanking. Oh, hold. Yeah, it's still the spider's turn, isn't it? So yeah, you do your riposte. Then we'll do some bleed damage. And yeah.
That's more like it.
So the spider is starting to look a little bit ropey, as if its legs are about to fall off. It is going to do a Constitution save. Dun, 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 dun. The spider succeeds in its
Damn it.
Constitution save. Therefore, the effect of the brooch of the bloody rose ends, and he does not bleed any further. But sad to say for Mr. Spider, that's all he can do.
That could have been a D6.
Yeah, it could have been a whole D6 of bleed damage. Still, depending on how close something is to death, that could actually be a very valuable thing. You know, it's kind of more of a attrition for boss fights type thing. Deep, you are in the chair.
Yay.
I got
Yay!
better magic weapons.
The enthusiasm.
Ha
Very good. So,
Oh,
so its legs buckle, and the body of the spider crashes down onto the tiled floor of the office, leaving Kararuk sitting on top, and the legs splayed at awkward angles. It seems to let out a long sigh, and then
First kill to
and then it starts to shrink and shrink again. And then suddenly, it's just a giant spider that's dead.
cool. Poor spider.
I'm
Poor
gonna
spider.
walk over to Felice and just say, all right, we killed your little spider, but I want to be clear moving forward. Are you going to be sending more demonic things after us?
Well, I mean,
Oh, this is happening. I'm sneaking behind the back.
okay, give us a stealth roll. This is an enormous desk, but I would say don't necessarily take the proportions of this map to be gospel, because it seems to be enormously large. I don't know if anyone would actually have a desk that was, 20 by 35 feet. So you seem to be pretty well hidden. So you are sneaking off. I will have a bit of a chat with Deep, and we will come back to Kararuk in a minute and see what he is up to. But Felice, who is she's clearly an angel, clearly of celestial stock, but her armor is made of a blood-stained black metal, and her eyes glow with a strange reddish amber light, and she sort of has red hair and a slight sneer on her face. So she would probably be fabulously beautiful if she were not so obviously evil.
Yeah, I'll ask her. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She looks down at Deep. I would say the scale of this creature, she's actually a medium creature, but I have made her on this map a large creature to demonstrate her spiritual presence.
Her presence,
She's massive. She appears to be massive, but actually she's not much taller than any of you. But she says, well, it's certainly not my job to dispatch infernal armies and forces to attack people such as yourselves. I mean, I don't have any business with you at the moment. Really, this is all about a contract which we have with Mr. Coldfoot here. But don't mistake my purpose in calling you as being in some way sinister or fell. I mean, I have to say that I rather enjoyed the devil spider once it got going. So, I
can assure you that his bite is very effective.
Yes, I saw that.
I'm gonna lean in and get in her face and say, "You look angelic, but what lord do you serve?"
Well,
Deep. I can explain that later on.
It's okay. I don't mind answering a question. You shall find me as a pane of glass. The truth shall pass through me. Yes, was once a celestial, and now I follow our greater lord. What a time for it to go out of your head.
Asmodeus.
That's the one. I follow our greater lord Asmodeus, but
yes.
I have another commander, but yes, there are many fallen angels in the Nine Hells. But I am what you might call a legal expert.
Indeed.
Yes, Deep, I have seen individuals such as Felice at a distance back in the City of Brass occasionally. They fulfill quite a good role in keeping things operational and moving, yet they are proven in their capabilities. I would heed we try and keep this a civil discourse and see what we can do about our colleague.
Char and I are of one mind. Yes, all I wish for is a civil discourse, so that we may come to a conclusion that suits everybody. So I'm just going to quickly do a roll before Kararuk does anything that may cause you to have problems. I just hit the token lock there because I could see him creeping up behind. So, let's see. What is the passive perception of one of these? Less impressive than I expected. But what actually is Kararuk doing? Give me some idea, and I'll... the carpet is... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm getting into position with my ice dagger. Just in case it goes a little bit sideways, I'm going to just stab her in the back and rip her soul out. Or rip her life away from her. I'm trying to be poetic, it's not working.
No, poetic is fine. That's good. So I mean, I was just imagining what would happen if you'd actually said that out loud as Kararuk. Char would have told you that she is because she's celestial. She has no soul. She is her soul. Her soul is her physical body. Whereas living creatures have a separate spiritual form, which can kind of move in and out of the flesh, whereas celestials and demons they are souls effectively, but they're kind of souls made flesh.
Borin, I just some advice to you before we go into any more discussion with Felice. No offense, Felice. I just want to make sure he's fully aware.
No, go ahead. He's entitled to counsel.
These individuals, while their reasons you may not necessarily agree with, but I'll leave that to your own judgments when it gets discussed. I can assure you that one thing that is paramount to them is their word is binding. There will be no going back on any promises or deals. Just be careful on what you agree on and what conditions are set. But once it is set, they will not go against them. They are as true as any oath in the realm of Celestia, for that part, if that helps you.
Quite so. If you would like, you may prepare yourselves. Oh, I need to learn how to get rid of that without accidentally filling the chat with stuff. There we go. It keeps popping up. It keeps popping up. Go away. There we go. On the third time. Okay.
Nope.
Has it come back again?
It's around 10 according to this.
Oh well. It seems to have stopped doing it now. But yes, she says, if you like, then you can go and sit at that table over there and have a little chat beforehand. Everything's above board here. I'll just sit here and catch up with my paperwork. I'm sure you understand. It's a busy sort of job. Hold on, She goes and sits in the chair behind the desk and starts mulling over some paperwork.
Okay, no, I think I've got this. Okay. So, I've put all my axes on the door on the table again, but this time I'm not trying to just abandon them. So, if I am to understand this correctly,
Joe.
Yes.
Thank you. If I am to understand this correctly, no matter whoever I kill, the soul is sent here. Yes.
Well, there is a that is definitely the gist of it. Yes, it is written upon those weapons. Allow me a little bit of preamble before I answer your question.
Okay.
So, vendors in the City of Brass have been known to sell infernal weapons produced here in not produced here. We are in a nether place, a place in between. When I say here, of course I meant Avernus. We are not in Avernus. Yes, infernal iron weapons made in Avernus are sometimes imprinted with contracts, and the genies and the devils that trade these things in the City of Brass, they're sometimes not too scrupulous about who they sell things to. Sometimes they pass on merchandise without actually checking that the buyer has any understanding of the contract that they're entering into. And for my part, that is somewhat dishonest. So the person who sold you these infernal axes should actually have told you that you were entering into a soul-binding contract when you bought them. However, I do not have the power to dissolve the contract. I do have the power to renegotiate it, because here in the Nine Hells, we don't like to steal souls. We prefer to buy them equitably. We like to get a bit of consent, a bit of knowledge, So you're unlikely to end up here by accident. You'll have to qualify in, so to speak. So you have entered into an infernal contract without the full knowledge of its ramifications, and so we may renegotiate that here today. There will of course be some benefit to yourself, other than just owning some axes, I'm sure. But anyway, does that set your mind at ease at all, Mr. Colford?
I don't like owing my soul to anyone, least of all you, just to my dwarven gods.
Well, if you'd asked him, I'm sure your knowledgeable friend over there could have read the runes to you. But would you like to know what they actually say?
What do they actually say?
Okay, they say something along the lines of, and you see, Infernal is not a very easy language to interpret in the common tongue, I have to say. It's a matter of degrees, you see. You can't get the heat into the language, but anyway. She takes one of them in her hands and she looks at it, and she says, "Right. It's a fairly standard contract. So what would happen here is, I won't read it to you verbatim, but basically, souls collected with this item will be sent to Avernus to join the Blood War. What usually happens is that humanoid souls become creatures called lemures, and they then go through the process of rising through the ranks and becoming devils of greater power, and then take their place in the Blood War. Failing that, they become cannon fodder, basically. But you see, you are not really supposed to kind of kill animals and things with these. So if you don't kill evil people with them, then we end up with souls that we're not supposed to have. You see, it's kind of against the rules. But that spider was pretty evil once it got going, wasn't it? I'm sure you'll agree. I mean, if you want to go around killing spiders, I could actually get behind that. I think an argument could be made. But either way, this is I believe this is a 100 soul contract, and each of these axes. What did Chargers do? Is he setting fire to the table?
No. Sorry, I just noticed my GRAF was set at 3 when it was actually meant to be 4. Sorry, I was doing stuff while you were talking.
Okay.
Because it's based on proficiency bonus. So.
Yeah,
You were saying about 100. I mean, this doesn't seem like I'm getting anything out of it.
Oh well. Let me continue. So. The contract as it stands says that you will, using the set of infernal iron axes that you have, you will reap 100 souls, and after each 10, these axes will become more powerful, upgraded, and thus to reward you for work well done. And at the time where 100 souls are offered, you the contract is complete, and only then, if you continue, at that time, you could put these axes down and end your contract. You know, the contract would then be considered complete.
Okay. Right.
But should you die without offering 100 souls, then your soul would be sent to Avernus. But this does seem like a rather harsh burden for someone who did not know they were getting into this. So is there something that we can do to sweeten the deal for you? We could possibly change the number, possibly work on different additions to their uses that might be helpful to you. You're obviously a fighter. You obviously kill things. You might as well gain by this somehow.
Right. I have something of a proposal that will work for everyone. and will potentially give you more than 100. The gamble is up to you.
More than 100 souls. Well, I mean,
It could be more, it could be less. Now, for the remainder of my, I still have 100 years and some change still to go on my dwarven life. Now, if I were to use these for the remainder of that time, or until if I wish to give them up, by all means, we would continue back and see if I've killed enough people per your liking for it to be set aside. I will continue to use these forevermore. But in order to make life easier for each of us regarding evil, if it was to glow or like glow blue for targets that you would prefer, out of comment, we're going like if you can tell what I'm going. So for targets that you think are worthy, that way you guarantee you get what you want. I will continue to kill the evil. So if you have something like a lying, like that can detect evil, lying, the devils and possessions, or something you would like.
I begin to see what you mean. Okay, well, that's something we can consider. So what you would like is for these weapons to let you know. I mean, our requirements are very simple. We want souls that are alive. Obviously, if you kill the undead with them, nothing will happen. It's just a waste, really. But no harm will be done, but no souls will be gathered. So if things are alive, lawful, and evil, then their souls will be reaped, and they will join the Blood War in Avernus, and they will count towards the total. And the evolution of the weapons will, shall we say that they are somewhat sentient, so they will mold themselves to that which you desire in many ways. So
Propose this is continuing on that. So we are continuing on that line of work. As you can tell, I have 4 of these things. I don't necessarily need 4 if they can return to me as you have just shown you can do.
Oh, I just did that to fuck with you.
Is there a way that way you can double the amount of weapons you can expect? You can send these off to other people. If you
they come as a set, really. I mean,
okay.
What I could do is I could merge them into a smaller number of weapons, or break them apart into more. I mean, they're magic, aren't they? They you wanted 4, and so you have 4. I could turn them into 6 if you want, but they'll all still be part of the same. They're all part of the same contract, you see.
This is me explaining why I wanted 4 to him. So the reason why I wanted 4 was so that I didn't run out of them straight away. So if you could have them return to me after being thrown, I believe they are called a belt of blinking. I will also add on the magical ring of fighting like thing in exchange as well, as a token of towards the inconvenience of that.
Oh, Mr. Colford, you don't have to give me anything. I just tried to explain. These things will, to an extent, within reason, they'll do what you want. The more things you kill, the more powerful they'll get. That's how they work.
Okay, so if you give me the ability to tell what targets you want, as you can see from my friends here, they have a lot of powerful weapons, and I don't have anything quite to suit my needs just yet.
Hold on. I mean, these weapons are hand axes because you wanted hand axes. If you wanted to be if you wanted to be something else, then maybe we can change it for you.
Right. Okay, so I take off my giant axe, put it down on the table, pick up one of the hand axes, and I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, be better than that axe.
Right. Okay. So,
Because I haven't fought a lot of giants recently.
No, there's not many about. It's like the DM doesn't really like giants very much, isn't it?
No, it's also the fact that I got this as a second-hand weapon and haven't actually got something special for myself yet. And now I've just been told I can.
So, I'm just reading the chat here. Shall I stab her? Okay. So, she,
Oh, you're only saying this now because I'm getting something.
Oh. Yeah, do it. Oh.
Oh, and I'll throw in a bonus for you. Eric, get away from her.
So she says, well, what you want it to be? You want it to be a two-handed axe. Is that what you prefer?
With something with a little bit more firepower and kick to it than this one.
Okay. I think that could be
You can
arranged.
keep this one. That's how bad I think it is.
Okay, well maybe I'll just borrow it to take its shape. Hold on. She puts a hand out, and the giant slayer axe flies towards her and hovers in front of her, and she draws its outline in fire with the tip of her finger, and then clicks her fingers, and it just turns to dust and blows away. But the outline of the axe remains, and she says, so something a bit like this, but maybe bit of artistic flair. You know, she kind of points, a few spikes appear in this outline. She sort of puts some finger guards on the handle with spikes on them. She kind of puts a flailing spiky kind of cord on one end. What else could we do with this? So you want it to tell you when lawful evil souls are about. She clicks her fingers, and you see a spot of blue light appear, and it kind of hovers in the place where the axe head would be. And she says, "Okay, Mr. Culford, so you are happy to continue with the 100 soul contract. It's now 97. Continue with the 100 soul contract, but with a weapon of your choosing. Is that what you wish? And it will get stronger every 10 souls you harvest. It will get stronger in ways that can help you. Are you happy with that?"
In a manner of speaking, if I can, one, have a manual of how I turn these things into what I want them to.
Well, I mean, it's not quite as simple as that. You kill 10 things, and something beneficial occurs. Something that matches you. It will communicate with you, not necessarily verbally, but yes, it will. It will mold itself to your style, shall we say? I mean, even this may not necessarily be its final form, but if you're ready, then I will take take that matter and form it into your new weapon.
So I will still have, still 4 hand axes. That
No,
lovely
the
thing.
hand axes will form a new weapon, which will be a giant soul-reaping, lawful evil devil
I
axe.
wanted the throwing axes still.
You can buy some normal throwing axes. You know, you,
Okay, very, very well. Now, if I were to bring down the number, does that mean the potential amount of buff it will reach? Like, what discount do I get for the fact I didn't sign up for this?
well, I
Same
mean,
bonuses.
oh, how?
Kidding me.
Well, I suppose I could give you a 20% reduction. We could call it an 80 soul contract.
80 soul for all the same buffs seems reasonable. Definitely have them right. But yeah, something to emphasize that this is like something worthy enough of a kill. I don't want to send you a bunch of rats.
Yes, yes, indeed. It will let you know who it really wants you to kill. I mean, if you kill other people, they just won't count. So, 80 lawful evil souls, less 3, 77 lawful evil souls, and
Okay.
then your contract will be fulfilled.
Okay. And one cherry on top for this, if I get you something super awesome, will it count as multiple?
Maybe, if for
Okay.
example, you kill a living lawful evil creature that is. Okay, let's do it based on scale. So a small or medium creature counts as 1, a large creature counts as 2, a huge creature counts as 3, but it's got to be alive and it's got to be lawful evil.
So long as it tells me, yes, that's fine.
Cool.
And I do apologise if I do. Tell you what, if it doesn't activate, don't turn it on. Don't suck in the soul when it's not that.
No, it won't. It won't.
Okay, that
Yeah.
seems fine. Okay, that
Okay,
is fine.
we've turned the safety on now. In the City of Brass, usually devils buy them, and they're all they know what they're trying to kill. Selling it to a mortal was a bit irresponsible, really. But here we go. You have a an axe. So I am going to for now carry on using your Giant Slayer axe because I'm going to need to make a card for this.
And I no longer have my throwing axes, which I need to get.
You no longer have your throwing axes, but you can get some new throwing axes. So you don't have the infernal iron throwing axes, but you do have
A giant infernal.
a giant infernal axe of doom. So she says, you'll have to give it a name, of course. She holds her hands out, and the axes float off the table, and they seem to melt and form a red glowing liquid metal, which suddenly begins to conform to the shape that she's painted in the air with an outline of fire, and the glowing blue dot that appeared in the head turns into an eye. Looks this way and that, and the thing.
Maybe something a little bit less grotesque, please.
Oh, well, I mean, it has to see. How
about does it necessarily have to be a living eye? Can it be metal, or can it be
hold on.
Eye like
Oh dear.
glowing eyes from a mask or something?
She says, "I know what you mean. Hold on." She clicks, and it becomes the outline of an eye, which has a red glow coming from it instead of an eyeball. She says, "Okay, is that more to your aesthetic taste?"
I don't want to be my wit for having this thing with a little like.
That'd have been cool having a big blue eye looking around while you chop things up.
Well, the eye was in the axe head, but yeah, it now has kind of eyes molded into it on either side of the axe head. It blinks though. It blinks. You see it blinking. You can kind of see a slightly different coloured red dot which kind of moves. So you can tell it's looking at things. It just doesn't look like a human eyeball wriggling about. And she says, right, we're nearly there. Hold on a sec. And she kind of points one exquisite pointed fingernail and etches on it as if with a laser runes as it twists around, and she kind of goes, "Here's the first one," and then and then 10 rings of 8 rings of runes around the shaft of the axe, which is some kind of dark-coloured wood, sheathed in metal. There are hand guards with spikes on, and the runes kind of glow as if fire is coming from behind them, and then the axe floats down and lands on the table in front of you. And just looking at it, it is a ridiculously powerful item filled with infernal malevolence. However, it is your item filled with infernal malevolence, and it is now yours. She says, "Well, all we need to do is take it into your hands, and that shall count as acceptance of the terms. Or we can shake on it if you like."
Do I get a manual of what this can do?
I think
So it's going to be pretty.
there
It's
is
going to be pretty
always-
awesome.
there is always a chaotic nature, I would with magic. Barring,
Not here, dear boy.
I would say, for my own, if I grab this, will it adjust itself to my personal taste? Because I don't exactly like the hand covers. I would prefer just a personal shaft.
Okay, well,
So it's just grip it, and then it molds a bit more to what I like. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's sort of, it has a somewhat fluid nature. So she says, "Well, I mean, it would seem that we have come to a bargain. Here is your part. 77. Hold on." She says that you see just on the axe head there, next to the eye, there's 3 little scratches which are like a tally, like a 5-bar gate, and there's 3. She says, so as that increases, when you have 2 5-bar gates, it will change in some way. But for now, this is what you have.
Noted.
And the DM has lots of work to do now, because I've just created a unique magical item that's going to change every time you kill 10 lawful evil people with it. Still,
that's if we don't kill him before he gets to him.
Yeah.
it is.
I mean,
it is going to
taken
be.
me
It is
17
going.
weeks just to get to 3.
Yeah. Well, you may have some more living people to fight now.
And you didn't even want 2 of them.
It was a bit perverse of me, really, to give you items that that you had to kill living creatures for, and then only give you 3 living creatures all the time. So, sorry.
Felice, now that the deal has been struck, I have a question regarding the enchantments of this weapon.
Yes.
We have been engaging in people that I think would be applicable for your requirements. However, when Borin struck one down, the portal tried to suck their soul through, but it was held by another power. They seem to be meddling with things from Mechanus. We are still uncovering the full truth of what they've been doing. Do you know if there have been other cases like this before? I'm only asking you this to assist my colleague here to use his axe for the best of the accord.
Understood, and that's a good question.
Sorry,
right?
Sorry about that, John.
No, that's fine. No. That's very interesting, Char. So, I wonder. An evil soul meshed with the magic of Mechanus. What was he using it for?
At the moment, we are still uncovering the full details. From our findings so far, it seems to be trying to use the regenerative powers of the minions of that plane. I don't fully understand all of it, but I think in such a way that this union prevented the Pax on Borin's hand axe from claiming its soul.
So was he was there more than one of him? Was there a multiplicity of individuals?
Yes.
Ah.
There does seem to be a collective, though, due to this particular quirk. I am not sure of their full numbers. I am estimating a collective of, a cabal of no more than a dozen at most, I would think. But this is purely speculative.
I mean, if there's more than one, perhaps if he has found a way to copy himself, there may be more bodies, but there's still only one soul. So if you kill one of the bodies, the soul will move back into those surviving copies.
So it might not be multiple. Right. I had not even considered that, Felice.
Because you can copy the flesh, but even using the crude and bizarre magics of Mechanus, but you can't copy souls. No one can do that.
I would like to point out that if these people are successful and cover the world in their mechanical creatures, you will have no more souls to collect, because these creatures are soulless.
That could be problematic, yes. Well, I mean, Well, it seems like it's a very good thing that you're on the job then.
Yes.
Any help could be appreciated.
I think the help you may have is in your hands at the moment. But those
help helps those who help themselves.
The words that Felice has just said there has got my mind turning now in ways I hadn't even considered. That is, I think, so possibly if we can filter them all back to one vessel, then maybe that will allow Boring to fulfill a part of the bargain. Right. Excellent. Your words are very wise there, Felice. I thank you for that.
Oh, you're most welcome.
If you do come up with anything, can this guy talk to you?
Char? Well, I mean...
No, the axe, right? Point at my axe.
The axe. Well, I mean...
You communicated through it in the past. I'm just saying, if you find something out that's useful, you can tell us. And if we find something out useful to prevent you from losing your entire world of souls, we can tell you.
Oh, they all come here eventually. Perhaps you don't understand the planes very well yet, but it's the whole of the multiverse is just a machine for bringing more souls to the Blood War. But you'll forgive my cynicism. They all come here eventually, one way or another.
Well, they'll stop coming from here if these things take over.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It'll just be a temporary blip, I imagine. Anyway, if you find something, I'll know. And if I want to tell you something, you'll know.
Okay.
I tell you what, though. There is a very interesting presence in this room. He's standing right behind me. He thinks I don't know he's there, but I think we'll have a break before I talk to him.
It's your blooming daddy again, isn't it?
Again? It's
Pardon?
It is daggers again, isn't it? So literally, the next thing I was going to do was put my axe handle to his chest and see if he blew, and then try again when he was holding those coffin knives.
right.
Nails.
I'm going to pause this.
Mhm.
Hold on. Where's the button?
Anywhere
There's the
near
break
me,
button.
I
Here
will
we go.
stab you with.
Right, I'm clicking
And
pause.
10 minutes.
Welcome back, banner there. Back in the room. Hello, good evening, and welcome to part 2. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. And every time I say that, a little part of me is sent closer to the 9 hells. But
Do you feel dirty?
I feel very dirty.
I,
I
I,
love it.
I feel bad in saying I now have 870 subscribers on my one.
Oh, well, that's a lot more than I've got. Still, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 YouTube channels and almost no content compared to proper YouTubers. So I don't know. At least
Tell you what,
we're doing something. At least we're helping to populate the channel. But I tell you what, quick shout out. Michael's channel is called Dark Superboy. If you are into, is that right? If you,
Justice and Star Wars.
yeah, if you're into Young Justice and Star Wars, he is a prolific creator of YouTube content on that particular subject.
Every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
So yeah, go and check him out if you haven't already. But anyway, on with part 2. Felice has hinted that she might quite like to speak to Kararuk. The massive Amazonian evil angel woman does an about face and looks right at Kararuk and says, "Tell me about yourself, Wood Elf."
Why is that to tell? What would you like to know?
I'm
Does it
Virgo. I
work?
like long walks.
I'm still got my daggers there ready to pounce.
Yes, I see that. You have a somewhat chaotic nature, which is anathema to us in the 9 hells. But there's something else there too.
What do you mean?
Have you not noticed? Or are you being cagey with me? Wink.
Oh, I've got no idea what you're talking about, lady. You're starting to worry me here.
Well, I don't mean to worry you. I'm just interested in all the strange magic things in the multiverse.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, quite apart from the fact that magic dagger that you're brandishing stinks of succubus, there is a hint of something else about you. Some terrifying stench of the grave.
Is that, maybe that's just my nature?
Really? You roll about in open graves and don't shower?
When it comes to speaking to your kind, you want information off me, it's going to cost you.
Well, just showing an interest.
But why?
No need to get grumpy.
I'm not grumpy, I'm just kind of curious why suddenly you're interested in me.
Well, whenever I see a soul on a knife's edge, I always take an interest.
What do you mean?
Oh. Hold on a sec. let me ask your friend some questions. You there, cleric.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything unusual about your friend here lately?
Yeah, occasionally his eyes turn black and his tongue gets all piggly wiggly.
Oh. Carryrook, what could this be?
I have no idea why does my tongue go wiggly wiggly.
Not sure about the tongue bit.
His eyes go black too.
Oh, you've seen it too then, Mr. Colford.
His eyes go black and his tongue goes forked. He's become a lawyer.
I resemble that remark, she says. Well,
I'm saying, what are you guys talking about?
it's okay. I'm sure it will all work out just fine. Hold on. I just need to do a skill check. You think she might even be sincere. I'm sure everything will be fine, Kararuk. There's...
Well,
tell you
the results come up as public unless if
I
you
know,
would try
I
to do it as
know.
a hidden.
It would have been
No worries.
much funnier if it had come up a really bad roll, but it actually came up quite a good roll, which kind of spoiled it a little bit. But
That's fine.
I'm saying, and what do you mean, Felicia? What are you talking about?
perhaps he doesn't realise. Oh well.
No,
So-
it's just always like that.
Certain magic items can have a bit of a corrupting influence on the mortal soul. I don't know. Have you felt like you might be a bit more evil lately? Perhaps?
Evil.
Oh well, it's fine. You just carry on. Let it. I'm sure that any dark apotheosis you happen to undergo will only be for the best of everybody. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. I could help you. If you want to be rid of it, I could help you.
Guys, what are she talking about?
Very well.
Dude, you have a problem. You need to admit it. It's the first step in solving it.
I think
We're all here. We're all your friends. We're here because we love you. This is your intervention.
If you would like to stage an intervention, you may certainly do so. I will be quiet for a minute. Several minutes, in fact. But, otherwise, it is up to you.
Karok, I have heard others speak of this. I haven't seen this effect on you myself, mainly because when we're in a fight, I kind of am behind you, so I don't often see your eyes in those situations. But it is concerning if it is so noticeable that something could be affecting you like this. It is your own choice. I am not going to push you either way. If you are willing to embrace something that is giving you an advantage or a boon, I mean, look at me. I am on the end of the string of my own lord, who gives me some of his power for my task, so I can't really talk, it'd be very hypocritical of me, but you have to be mindful of what you are accepting and what the effects can be.
I've not seen or heard anything. I think not gaining any advantage. I'm just pure neutral skill. I don't need help.
Oh, enough of this. Draw an axe. Draw my big new axe. Right. I point it at him. Does it go off?
No?
I point it at his belt where the things normally are. Does it go off?
No?
Yeah, damn it. Okay. Right.
Well, it means he's not lawful evil then.
So when he pulls his axe out on me, do I feel threatened?
Well, I mean, you are standing on the other side of a 20-foot wide desk.
Okay.
I don't know. You also have a fallen angel between you and him. So, he kind of points his axe at you, and you might notice it looking at you, but you do not necessarily feel like he's about to attack you. I don't think that's what he intended at any rate.
No.
I'm just looking for something, and I cannot find it. However, I've had some really good ideas. At least I think they're quite good.
But we can. No offense, Carrick. I mean, we can carry on as we are, but if we keep an eye on you just for your own well-being, we have travelled several planes now, including this one. I consider you a friend in all that we've gone through. I'd like to make sure you remain so and stay alive.
I'm not planning on dying anytime soon.
Nobody plans on dying anytime soon.
But what I get at is if even Felice here is noticing something, maybe we just have to keep an eye on you, just to make sure you're okay.
Or maybe Felice is getting scared of me and my nice dagger.
Okay, he is definitely in denial. Right.
It's okay. I mean, whatever happens to him, he certainly won't get any weaker as a result of this. It's just he might be a bit different.
I see Boren sneaking up here.
Boren, you're not very good at
sneaky,
sneaking.
Boren.
I'm not attempting to sneak. Right.
Are you going to kiss now? I've always wondered how how mortals mate.
I wish to grapple.
Oh, no need for that, Mr. Coldfoot.
Well, he didn't make any response as a reaction, so I'm gonna just grab them and pull the damn things off his belt and show them to her.
Okay, can I use while he tries to grapple me, being the rogue that I am and being a fat-fingered dwarf, I'm guessing I get advantage on dexterity save or something.
Well, he will need to use I mean, if he's grappling you, then he needs to use athletics. And you can use acrobatics to avoid that. So, if Boren's intention is to grab hold of Kararuk to fiddle with his belt pouch, so to speak.
We shouldn't have bless on, by the way. If you want to remove the bless,
that should not be there anymore. So,
which one do you want?
Athletics.
Yeah, athletics for you. Athletics for you and acrobatics for Kararuk. Oh, I mean that's quite good.
20. Skills, acrobatics.
Guidance, no. Standard save. Bang.
Oh,
Surprisingly, Borin didn't need to do acrobatics. Surprisingly, Borin has actually got hold of Kararuk. So I am going to. I wonder what will happen here.
Also, I've still got my ring on, so I don't know if you can disengage from me without taking a DC.
Oh, the ring of engagement. I'd forgotten all about that. So Felice looks at Borin, who's got the ring of engagement on, and looks at Kararuk, who's now being awkwardly hugged by somebody who's a foot shorter than him, and she kind of raises an eyebrow. Okay, this is entirely experimental because I'm wondering what will happen to the audio when I do what I'm about to do. So, because what I want to do is take Kararuk into my DM secret chat room. So I don't know what's going to happen with the recording. So this could be a bit bizarre, but hopefully what this will do is mean that I can't hear you guys, but I can hear Kararuk. So
everyone stick their fingers in their ears.
Yeah. So I'm gonna change chats, and I'm gonna get Kararuk to come with me, and only 2 of us should fit in there, which means no one can come and eavesdrop, and we can look at all the cool secret stuff in there. But this will still be on the recording, so don't swear. You're on TV. So I'm going to move into the DM secret chat. I don't know. I don't think it will pick up any of your voices while we're out. So we'll find out in a minute. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So yes, as expected, we have been kind of cut off from the rest of the group in terms of audio, but you and I should still be picked up. The sad thing is that if anyone watches this back, they'll kind of get a bit more intel about this. But I just kind of wanted to drop in a bit of a sidebar about the cursed coffin nails, which you found all the way back in Neverwinter, didn't you?
It's a long time.
Yeah, a long time ago. So Kararuk found the cursed coffin nails, which was a magic item. He found them in a buried underground crypt under Neverwinter.
That's right.
After having fought a load of ghouls to get them. And these are literally rusty old bent coffin nails that have been pulled out of real coffins, and they are darts which Kararuk can throw. Anybody who didn't know already, these darts cause necrotic damage and burrow into the flesh of things that they hit. But when Kararuk kills things, his eyes turn black and his face becomes like a waxen mask of hatred. So
I don't know that.
You don't know that? Does Kararuk not know that? So this is kind of a bit of player character wrangling. So if Kararuk is unaware of that, then that's cool. But I was thinking he's denying all knowledge. But this magic item is definitely kind of having a bit of an effect on his on his alignment. Some of this kind of goes on in the background, so I kind of wanted this to be on camera so that people would get a bit of an idea what's going on with Kararuk, because otherwise he's just being accused of being a bit weird, and nobody really quite knows why. Yeah, I get the feeling that Kararuk wants to hold on to the coffin nails, and he is not really interested in what anyone has to say about this. So, I have some ideas. But if you're cool with it, then we shall carry on, and we'll end this sham of an intervention, and take take you somewhere where you can,
Beat up boring.
Oh, tempting.
Good luck.
PvP, we're going to do that at level 10. We agreed that, didn't we? So we'll do proper matchups and everything, and you can all beat each other to a pulp.
Cool. So just to recap, I don't know anything. I don't know what these coffin nails are doing to me. When I kill some, I can't see my eyes go black. But I'm feeling rather possessive of them. That's about right, yeah?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So let's go back into the main chat, and I don't know. We can be a bit mysterious and pretend that I don't know. That was not an enormous amount of substance and quite a lot of recap, but we can pretend that there's more to it if you like. Right, back to the main chat.
Cool. Speak to you in a minute.
Oh, better stop talking about him.
You were talking about us. Goodness.
Yeah, we were.
Right. Oh, if you could turn your camera back on, Chris, then it will sort out our boxes, and.
Well, we didn't hear you, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I think that will all have been picked up by the recording as well, so no one's allowed to watch it now. Spoiler warning. I've just realised that I can actually do asides on film, on camera, without you knowing at the time, but obviously you'll be able to watch it when you replay the episode. So we'll have to decide whether we want that or not, because the thing is, if we would like our story to be a coherent narrative in front of everybody, then they kind of need to be a party to things that the other players are not necessarily a party to. So
I will not watch next week's episode, this episode, because I've been in it.
Or we can just fast forward that section for us, but that's by the by.
So maybe I'll put in some spoiler warnings, but yeah. So Felice kind of looks from face to face and says, "Well, I am far from being an agent of chaos. I do not wish to sow dissension in your little band, especially after bestowing such an important item upon Mr. Colford. Let's let Kararuk come to his own conclusions about that which he carries. Would you let him go, Mr. Colford? I don't want any violence done in my office. At least not violence that no violence that isn't sanctioned by me."
Have I noticed anything change about him?
No, Kararuk is. I mean, he looks a bit mad that you've kind of got him in a bear hug, but you know, he looks the same as he always has.
The point was to get the coffin nails off him. Did I get them off him?
Well, if that acrobatics roll was you trying to get the coffin nails, I would say
that was me accidentally hitting acrobatics. I would have used sleight of hand if I was trying to do.
Well, if after what Felice has said you would like to try and still grab the coffin nails, then you can certainly try. That will be a flat dexterity roll.
Skills, dexterity. Do I have advantage considering he's grappled?
The thing is, if you've grappled him, then you have to let him go to search his pockets, don't you? So you don't get advantage.
What's the point of grappling then?
I don't know. I've always thought the grappling rules were redundant and or silly. Delete as appropriate. At least they're less complicated than the Pathfinder version. Sorry?
Can I just do this to take him up and down?
Yeah, but you're like a foot and a half shorter than him, and you are stronger than him definitely. But when it comes to
slippy.
Yeah, he's quite slippy. If you're desperate to fiddle with his pockets, then you can take a dexterity roll. You. Well, that's a dex save, but you don't have
No,
proficiency
wrong.
with dex save, so actually that's the same. So that is, you have a +3 for dex and you rolled an 8. So all Kararuk needs to do to avoid that is Kararuk is proficient in acrobatics, so you can take acrobatics.
Okay. Boom. Boom.
But I mean, if you fail, it'll have his hands in your pockets. Okay. So Kararuk wriggles like an eel, and Borin can't get his hands in your pockets.
Good.
And,
So while I'm wriggling, can I get away from this grapple?
I'm going to say that the wriggling to avoid. I am anxious that we avoid needless PvP. So
Camera up.
so
Camera
I
up.
reckon
No one's seeing any of this.
What's that?
I've just realised, camera up. No one can see this. No one can see the hugging.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. So you missed the cuddle between Kararuk and Borin. Their tokens became as one as they meshed their arms around each other, but you missed it.
Here we go.
I'm going to say that Kararuk's feat of acrobatics to avoid having you put your fingers in his pockets also got him out of the grapple. And Felice says, "Oh, that's enough, gentlemen. We'll just have to see what we see."
Did you hear anything, Kararuk? Did you feel anything?
So you're pretty happy to hold me, which was a bit disturbing.
Not that, you idiotic elf. Did anyone notice anything happen to him?
We're not here.
Did you? What do you mean not here? Did you sense something?
Well, I sense a lot of things. I'm an angel.
What did you sense happening on the body or the evil necrotic presence you said when I tried to go for it? For his name.
Nothing changed. I mean, I detected a little bit of disgust at being, I don't know, about being grabbed, but you know, I don't think he got any more or less necrotic after you grabbed him. I would say, I feel like our business is concluded here, and I think I need to get some. I think I need to get someone in to clean up the massive bloodstain on my floor. Unless anyone here would like to. No. No, you don't. You don't seem like the type, really. Does anyone prestidigitate?
I can, and so I'll sort of start. While they've all been doing that, I'll just try and clear some of that up with some swirls. I almost just like burn it off the ground.
Oh, that's much better. Thank you. Thank you, Char. Thank you,
Whilst
Char.
he's doing this,
You're very helpful, Char.
I have been trained to appreciate those in power and to follow instructions.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so you should follow my instructions then.
I said those in power, Kararuk.
Is there anywhere you'd like me to drop you?
Somewhere where I can test this out?
I'm sure I can manage that. I can't promise you any particular soul quality, but I'm sure I can put you somewhere where you can hit things with it.
I'm just...
Put us on the map layer, John, for the map.
Yeah, I was just trying to find the name of the town where at least we can tell the populace there that the fortress is now safe. Yes, at Kostroma.
Oh yes, I can certainly put you there, or close to it anyway.
Yeah, because at least we can then tell the people there it's safe, and then we can progress back up to Pentagon if we so wish.
Somewhere with hand axes. I want throwing axes back.
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
So while we're travelling, I'm just going to say to Borin, grab me like that again, my friends. And my nice cold dagger will be making a cut on your throat in the middle of the night.
You just lean carefully over to him, your eyes glow red, and go, "I kill you." Anyway.
Knock.
That was weird.
On toast and say, looks like Borin gave the ring of engagement to Kararuk.
Oh damn! I forgot about that. I forgot that might have affected the thing, but anyway, it's fine. You were not actually in melee. But I have to. Michael, I've got a joke for you.
What?
This is as if I am Kararuk. Knock knock.
Who's that?
Me, I kill you.
Thank you.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Ahmed,
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to. I'm sorry. That was rubbish,
Yeah.
but I had to.
With his premature detonations, yes.
And his half blown up son.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
Really?
Knock.
Yeah.
Who's there? Me, I kill you.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
Haven't you seen it? Oh, we're gonna have to. We'll put a link in the Discord later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. Jeff Dunham. He does some really
Jeff
really
Dunham,
good
that's it, yeah.
really good puppetry and stuff.
I thought we were at the fortress, or were we back at?
Well,
We were.
yeah. You asked to be dropped at Kostroma,
Oh,
or somebody
Because
did.
then, that was me. As I said, we can tell the people here that the fortress is safe, so at least they've got somewhere they can potentially go to, which might be a bit more sturdy than the half-wrecked town, and it might be somewhere where you can buy things, such as axes.
So you are still where you were last time you came here. So apologies for that. I'll move you somewhere else. But you find the head of the Kostroman resistance, which is a half drow called Fira, who you may or may not remember. I'm sure you guys remember. You may have noticed that scary dark women are very much my NPC go-to. I probably need to seek help for that. I will try to create a bit more of a gender balance with my NPCs in future. And we glow from the axe. So I will. Anything I say today may be open to retcon, because we haven't clarified exactly how your new axe will operate. However, it does not mark out Fira as being lawful evil.
I just kind of think of it something like Sting, and it just glows.
Yeah.
But that's my idea.
I just had an idea. So I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna regret this later. The camera's just gone out of focus. So there are going to be three gems in the back of the axe head, and each of them has a rune next to them, which Char, I am going to force upon you. Char tells you that each of these runes correspond to the infernal words for lawful, evil, and alive. And when you point your axe at somebody, or rather, when you want to read somebody with your axe, you point it at them. They light up according to which of those things are true.
Are true or aren't true?
Are true.
Aren't true.
So, so when you point it at Fira, the one which says alive lights up,
Mm-hmm.
and the one that says lawful lights up, and the one that says evil does not light up.
Just because they're a drow doesn't mean they're a target.
I know. I've just got ourselves. This is going to be useful.
But if all three light up, then you know that they are alive, lawful, and evil.
And I
But
can kill them.
because it lights up doesn't mean you necessarily want to skewer that person.
Not necessarily. There might be lots of lawful evil people that you actually might need to speak to. You know.
Mm-hmm. Politicians.
Well, I'm off to try and find some hand axes then. At the end of my day.
And anyway, you've arrived. You point an axe at a lady, and you're leaving already. You're not even going to say hello.
Well, no. Okay, can we just so if I just if I'm resting it and then point the blade whilst it's on the thing, can I just look at it? So wherever the blade is pointing.
Yeah. Basically, you can look at the back of the axe head, because it's got one side with a big blade on it. On the back of the axe head, you've got the round bit which goes around the shaft, and then you've got the blade bit on one side. And if you look at the back of the axe head, whatever you're pointing the blade at,
So can I surreptitiously use it like a cane and just hold it at up, but point the blade towards a person and then look back at the back of the.
well, I mean, use it like a cane.
So
Well,
like a walking. So I'm just standing there, and then I've just got like a staff, just like a staff stick. I've just got it in my hand, but it's still on the ground instead of. Sorry, hang on. So it's like that instead of having to point it like that.
well, yeah. I mean, the edge aiming at somebody. The back of the axe head is where the lights are. So
Yeah, that's
basically,
what I mean.
you can stand there holding it, look at the back of the axe head, and you can kind of go, that one.
Yeah, but obviously not. I want to do that in a way that doesn't look like I'm about to attack her with an axe.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you'll have to have your axe out. That might make people feel uncomfortable. It obviously isn't a walking stick. It's a giant, bloody, scary, infernal axe of doom. So, if you stand there with it in your hands, people, it's going to be very difficult to do anything surreptitiously with such an obvious thing. However, it will tell you whether things are alive, lawful, and evil.
Yes.
Welcome, friends. We have not seen you for many days. Are you well?
Yes, we liberated the fortress to the northeast.
Truly, this is excellent news. Well done.
The heirs of the Pentecost mountain have returned and cleared out one more bit, giving you somewhere safe to stay if needs be.
Excellent. That will be a good place to retire to if we need to abandon the town. It appears that those strange dark gnomes have been true to their word. They have not assaulted us since you left, since you defeated them.
Great. One thing I wanted to ask, have you heard anything about my younger brother, Dumthananor, being up here? I got a letter from him, but these gnomes are so treacherous, I worry that it's a fake.
Oh, that is very interesting. Was the letter sealed with or with the Pentagon signet?
I believe that it was, but I suspect since the mountain has been infested, a signet could be obtained.
This is true. Yes, unless it were a magic signet. Um, um, there may be the signet ring. There may be other seals. You never know. Like you say, these things can be faked. Did it seem like your brother? Do you think it was him?
Possibly. He made reference to things that I wouldn't think the gnomes would know to put in the letter. But on the other hand, if maybe they have possession of him and they tortured information out of him, possibilities are endless. But I mean, have you heard reports? Has anybody seen him?
Well, I mean, you were always the golden son. You know, you were the one that the people relished hearing about your adventures and such things. He was.
I'd like to rephrase the question. Has anyone seen a cloud of BO walking through the land?
Oh. Well. I mean, this is a dark and fragrant place at the best of times. However, I personally have not seen your brother, but he may have been seen in other places. I mean, where did he write to you from? Where does he usually live? Is it in the city?
The last I saw him in person was the city of Waterdeep down south. That was years ago now. The letter is... He says that he's in the city of Pentagon.
Oh, well, maybe this is true. I'm sure that place is now a stronghold of the enemy, but even a city occupied by the enemy must still operate. It must still have messengers. It must still have supplies. You know, so perhaps he smuggled the letter out, and the place is, I don't know. It is definitely a hive of villainy.
Villainy?
Yeah. I was trying to avoid saying it, biting my tongue.
Yeah. Fyra, could you help Borin here? He seems to be looking for, if you can point him in the right direction for someone to assist him. He wants some additional armaments before we progress further.
Oh, well, I mean, this is not only the home of the provisional government of Kostroma now that we have been liberated. It is also the seat of the former resistance. We have various weapons and supplies. So I'm sure that perhaps we can help. Well, it depends what he wants. If he wants
4 hand axes, and that's it.
What's that? Say it again.
4 throwing axes, and that's it.
Hold on. Hold on. Here's my weapons rack. So hand axes, yes. Just
Throwing, yes.
you know, about so long, one blade, balanced for throwing. Oh.
Yep.
Well, you see, they might not perfectly match, but here they are. You can. I've got about 17 of those. You can have. You can have as many as you can comfortably carry. You can have, 4, 5, 6, what do you want?
Well, I can only how many can I carry?
I'm going to say...
my bandolier.
Bandolier? With axe heads on it? I always imagined them hanging from a ring from your belt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we can go... Well, I swear we joked
various
like
rings.
A bandolier, but yeah, we can do it as those.
We might have done. I mean, I'm old and forgetful, so if you had a bandolier, then apologies. I'm just struggling to imagine hand axes on a bandolier. But I mean, I suppose they could.
Two on the hips and 2 on the back will do.
Yeah.
Like Gimli had tons of axes on him. It's like that.
Yeah. He seemed to pull them out of nowhere and fling them, didn't he? But
yeah.
But yes, she she happily gives you 4 hand axes. They are functionally identical to the ones you had before. Although these ones do have scratches on them, but they're not infernal runes.
Right. Deep, we have some time now. We've made this town safe, it seems, and the fortress, for at least the time being, is secured. What can you tell us about what is going on here? Obviously, there are these gnomes, or a gnome that has split himself. I still to fully get my head round that. With what Phyllis said, it is a curious concept. But there was those mechanical undead, and now there are a whole menagerie of mechanical creatures that could decimate whole squadrons of soldiers if let loose on some of the towns and cities. You never mentioned any of these before we arrived here. You said something about a dragon before. What are we facing here? What has happened here? What is there anything you haven't told us?
So I was still a child when the invasion happened. What I remember is hordes of undead and a dragon of death coming and killing my father. I either didn't recognize, or initially the mechanical stuff wasn't a part of that. Mount Pentagon is an aluminum or aluminium mine, if you will. And I can see how what's in there would be valuable to denizens of... I can't remember the name of the mechanical plane, but I can
Mechanus.
Sorry, what?
Mechanus.
Oh, Mechanus. Oh, that's easy to remember. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see how Mount Pentagon would be valuable to Mechanus, because I imagine a large store of aluminum with current technology is quite valuable. But, yeah, I don't... Initially, it was just undead. It wasn't machines. Or at least
Well, do you with what we've uncovered in the fortress and the library, do you reckon Jorin Darator is leading everything, or he is a servant of this dragon, or is there something behind both of them? The sort of all of this is very disconcerting. I'm worried about what if they leave this area and proceed further, what they could do to all of the Sword Coast, or even to other planes. Again, reading the tomes, I was able to get in at the library for a short period. I was reading how they are. Right, you're saying that the materials inside the mountain would be useful for Mechanus, but Mechanus is a vast plane of cogs and gears, like the most intricate of all watches and devices that you see in the large cities. For them to need what just one mountain could produce is odd. I am not disputing what you're saying. I'm not disputing what, but it is curious what is going on here, and we've been rushing around, trying to do all we can for the last few weeks, but now it's we just have a chance to put all of these thoughts down to just see what they can tell us. As I said, I was under the impression that it was a whole cabal of gnomes that had gone through this ritual, but it could just be all parts of Jorin that he is divided himself over many bodies, and if we can corral them all into one vessel again, then maybe Borin can get another notch in his axe, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, my feeling at this point is we just march north to Pentagon, clear the city, then go into the mountain and just kill anything that moves.
Is there no way to get in there without going through the front door where everyone's going to be watching?
That's an interesting... Can I roll history for that, John?
You certainly can. And roll it with advantage because it's your house.
All right. Or if I just know the answer, you could just tell me.
Well, there is that. Yeah, okay, so...
But you were just a child.
Well, I'm gonna... let's see.
Maybe Borin knows, but Borin is like a lot older, so maybe he'll know. Like those basics of dwarf cities it can't just be one entrance.
You ever been to Pentagon?
Well, Pentagon is Borin is not from Pentagon. He's from another dwarven mountain fastness, probably. So Nate, from his childhood, remembers. Hold on. I'm going to read a bit of his background text here because it's actually really good, and I don't think this has actually come out in the story all the way up to this point. So, Deb Thananor, son of Death Thananor, is an heir to the family of Pentagon, a line of dwarven kings known for mining below Mount Pentagon, a mine rich in aluminium. For generations, the kingdom, populated by dwarves and gnomes, produced priceless lightweight artifacts such as featherweight plate mail, flying contraptions, quarrels that could fly thrice as far as normal, and other innovations in lightweight equipment such as jewellery and cutlery. When Depthananor was only a child, his family was driven out from Mount Pentagon by an undead draconic necromancer who now uses the aluminium for the creation of undead abominations. The dragon enslaved many of the dwarves and gnomes, and Deep fears that his relatives still labour beneath the mountain. In the fight for Pentagon, Depthananor had his life essence sucked away by an undead Death Thananor. So his father had his life essence sucked away by an undead horror. Depthananor watched his father die, and has a burning hatred for the unholy and the undead, which is what led him to the faith and why he worships the dwarven god of life. Brackets TM. Deep has a younger brother named Dump Thananor. Deep and Dump grew up fighting by each other's side. Dump is not the wise man that his brother is, instead following the path of the berserker. Deep grew increasingly embarrassed by Dump. He tended to walk around shirtless, smelling foul, and caked in the blood of his previous opponent. Deep and Dump ventured to Waterdeep, and Deep decided to join the City Watch as an investigator. He wanted Dump to join as a guardsman, but he refused to clean up or wear the uniform. The two got into a drunken brawl, and Dump knocked Deep out. Deep hasn't seen his brother since. He woke up in a pool of his blood and teeth. He fears that his relationship may be permanently sundered, and is hesitant to go looking for his brother. There is more, but I will stop there for now. Deep and his brother Dump watched their ancestral home taken by an undead necromancer dragon. They watched their father killed by it. There are many elements to the tale that mesh together.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt, John. I do wonder, maybe these things aren't actually from Mechanist. Maybe they're just Mechanist-style abominations that are being crafted in the mountain. Or
Could be it.
Sorry to interrupt you. It could be possible if these are from Mechanists that they need a home base with materials. Because unless they have a way of extracting the metals they need from the crust of the earth, I imagine they have to resupply somewhere.
That could explain something. That is true, but your tale that you've just spun there, Deep, it does explain a lot. Because honest, that was Deep that's just narrated that. Honest,
Of course it was.
yeah.
I should have got you to read it. Sorry, I robbed you of your moment there.
You have a much better voice, and the accent makes it sound a lot smarter than it does.
Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending. So yeah, the things do seem to be tying in. As I said, with Jorin Darator, whether he is creating these creatures for someone else or he is leading. But whether do you really think there is a back door into the city, or we just have to try and sneak our way in, or in a cart, or over a wall, or?
Yeah, so I rolled a 16, and also I guess when he asked me that, I'll try to think back. How did I escape? Probably it wasn't through the front door.
There are, in fact, at least 2 hidden entrances that you know of.
Oh, did that moon thing would have given us a hand? Did we ever solve that?
We never. What the
Moondial.
calendar thing?
Yeah, did we find out or do research in the library to solve that?
The books weren't in there.
Damn it.
Because that was a public library, and I think you needed materials specifically from the private records of the Pentagons. I'm having a moment here.
Okay.
That Kevin will sympathise with this, where you have an idea and you can't remember whether you rolled it out in any way.
I did ask in the library, and we kind of found a very broad book, but it basically said, for more details, see personal entries of the Pentagon family in their own storage. So it's like, okay, right, that's where it is. So, well, if there's a couple of hidden entrances, but we might be lucky to be able to. At least one of them might be still.
With my architecture knowledge, would I be able to deduce the rough area where they would be? I mean, they're not going to be like at the top. They're going to
You don't really need to, because Deep knows where they are. Deep can actually lead you to them.
Okay. Sorry.
So Deep can lead you to some entrances into Mount Pentagon that are not the front door.
I just had a thought. Oh, sorry, John. Did you need to finish?
I have probably. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a funny thing, just because you reminded me of it, and then I'm going to shut the f up. My other half, who can hear me talking downstairs but can't hear you because you're in my headphones, she said, "Does anyone else talk?" So I'm going to hang my head in shame and let you carry on.
That is the curse of the DM, where you're trying to do the characters, describe stuff, answer questions. You end up speaking a lot more. So I do sympathise with that. But anyway, Deep.
So now that I've told you the tale of my brother and I and how we parted on bad terms, and I haven't heard from him from him until I got this letter. Do you think it would be better to go to the city of Pentagon and try to meet up with Dump? Or do you think we should just sneak into the mountain on our own and go for it?
You should go and try and find your brother. So you can find him alone, and we'll sneak around just to make sure.
This is your home. This you know the people better than I. I will go whichever way you want to try and reclaim your home. If you think that your brother could be in danger, we rescue him. If he could be of use, we find him. If you think it's a trap, we carry on. It is your call to make.
Okay. Well, why don't we go to the city? Because we can always retreat and then sneak in the back door.
Yes. Before we do, I would quite like an opportunity just to collect my thoughts and maybe have a bit of a sit down after all that happened in the fortress. I'm feeling a little bit tired, and that spider ripped the shit out of me earlier.
Please do go ahead and take a long rest if you want to.
And during the long rest, I just wanted to change my attunement with one of my items.
Okay.
Or unattune one item and attune to a different item.
Cool.
And I think
what are you unattuning and tuning to? I need something to attune to.
Oh, your axe does require attunement, but that's kind of.
Hang on, I'm doing
the item.
You can do this. I've got something.
Yep. Hold on. Let Nate speak.
So when I long rest, I'm going to change my spell list, and I'm going to memorize, or I guess the term is prepare, remove curse, and with the other folks like nearby, but just off to our own, I'm going to talk to Kararuk and say, hey man, I'm worried about those coffin nails and what they might do to you. Why don't you let me cast a spell and let's just see what happens? I promise it won't hurt you.
You know what? I think I'm quite alright, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with me. You can keep your spell, but thank you.
Okay. When he says that, I'm going to get Borin and Pontos and say, all right, guys, I need you to grab Kararuk, and I'm going to cast a spell on him. And I'm saying here.
Why is everyone keen to grab me? Right, with my keen elven hearing, can I pick all this up?
You can sit on him.
If Deep was trying to be quiet, I'll get Deep to do a stealth roll. And
why can't I find any? Where are you? You can only find short.
God, I'm terrible at stealth. Why couldn't it be perception?
I'll just rush him. Tell Bacon to sit
not
on
very
me.
stealthy, but what's your passive perception, Chris? Kararuk? Oh, it's 13. Okay. So, I mean, you know they're coming, but there's 3 of them, which means that if they want to grapple you, now there's something that you and I know, so don't worry. So let's have a grapple check from whoever is doing the grapple. You can do it with advantage because you've got 2 other people helping you.
I know they're coming. Can I jump over them as they approach?
You can certainly try. Let's give them their athletics check to see if they can get a hold of you, and
Okay.
we'll see whether
Cool.
you can resist it.
Somebody who's not
I
me.
got it.
So athletics check from Borin with advantage because 2 other people are helping.
30-20.
You may resist that with either athletics or acrobatics.
Let's just. Oops, give me 1 second. Skill check. Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kararuk
Oh, hang on.
leaps
Wait, is
straight
he
over your
disengaging
heads.
from me?
Sorry?
Is he disengaging from me?
You are not in combat, and you may not
Okay.
strike him as a attack of opportunity. So, Karuk jumps over the top.
Yeah. Okay, once he lands and I realize we didn't snag him, I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Oh, okay. Wisdom
Just my
saving throw for
initiative, yeah.
Karuk, please.
Okay. I'm not the wisest of people, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Oh, yeah, we can't have long rested yet, can we? So it doesn't matter. I can't find the button.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Karuk is held. That means that. So what's Deep going to do now?
Okay, I'm going to cast Remove Curse on him.
Okay, can you drop it in the chat?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I yanked the coffin nails off him and throw them on the floor.
Okay.
Why don't you like my nails?
And
They got manicured.
yeah, the issue now is, does this even accomplish anything?
So I am going to briefly take Chris back into the secret DM chat again.
Ooh.
So won't be long. We'll be back for awards any second. So
Yeah.
I'll see you there in a sec. Hello.
Hello.
So remove curse would uncurse you, but this is not a cursed item. It is an evil item. It is an item that has influenced you for some time, but basically you feel the item speak to you in your mind as if to say, "Don't you want me anymore?"
Of course I do.
Well, that's okay then. I'll stay. Shall we
This is not hiding.
Shall we pretend it's all over? I tell you what. Let's be more subtle. Yeah.
Sounds like
Tell
a
you
plan.
what. You and I are good together, aren't we?
We make a good team.
Do you remember that time you stuck me under that guy's fingernail and you tortured him with me? That was good, wasn't it?
I did enjoy that, yes.
That was really good. I enjoyed
That
that.
was fun.
I tell you what, you barely even threw me into people. You just kind of dug my points into people for fun, and you liked it.
I did.
It was good, wasn't it? You know,
It made me feel good, yes.
this isn't a curse. You know, if you choose for me to stay with you, then this spell doesn't matter to us, does it?
Excellent. Let's do that.
I mean,
Let's pretend.
I mean that dwarf threw me on the floor, but
How dare you?
I'll magically reappear in your pouch. That's how it works.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. That's a very good plan, my friend.
Cool. Well, let's carry on then. But we'll pretend so they think everything's okay.
Excellent.
We'll just have to hope no one's watching next time you kill someone.
Yes, I'll have to do it slyly.
Yeah.
Thank you. What do I call you, by the way?
Oh. Well, I mean, you could call me, yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm looking in your mind for a word that's similar to what I am. You could call me Nelly if you like. Nelly.
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 Okay, Nelly, let's do that then.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, let's go back. They'll never know. Shh.
Excellent. This is funny. Cool.
Reverse the madness, because I found that really underwhelming.
It wasn't strange enough. They really, they could have gone super bizarre, but then they didn't, and they're a huge... I'm not even going to go here. There's not enough time, and it could spoil stuff for others.
Plot holes, yeah, there are major plot holes in there. Like, where's Vision? Wanda turning evil.
Right, all right, Mike.
Here we go.
Michael, which bit of... I wasn't going to say things to spoil, and you started opening your Great North. Anyway.
Sorry.
Kararuk, when Deep cast the spell, Kararuk just freezes. It's like he's had an electric shock or something. He looks like the blood drains from his face. He kind of shakes a little bit, and he stares off into the distance. And then after a minute after about a minute, a little smile grows on his face, and the colour seems to return to his features, and he kind of snaps back into the room.
Wow, what happened there?
Give us 1 second, mate. I poke the nails with my axe. Does any light bulbs light up?
They're gone.
They're gone. Okay.
Oh, wait, are they back on his person?
Who can say? But let's now do the awards. So
I did have the display screen of Roll20 on my Discord.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn the video back on. Apologies, my fault there. When I changed to the DM secret chat, I forgot to turn the video back on. So you guys couldn't see me, but the world can see me. The world, such as they are, such as our followers are. First blood. Who got the first hit on the only thing you fought today? That was Borin. First blood to Borin. First kill. Who killed it?
That was Deep.
Deep, first kill to Deep. First and only kill to Deep. Does that make it better? I think that makes it better. Kill of the week. Deep, because he's the only person who killed anything. Here we go. It seems to be doing it automatically. Yoink. I mean, Deep for the win. Because he yoinked it away from everyone else who was fighting. Longest kill streak. Really Deep. Yay.
You can argue these ones may be not applicable, but
kill from the grave, not applicable.
I can't find the award segment.
Damage dealer.
The most it was either the spider when he did 47 on me, or between us in one attack it was Kararuk with 37, or Pontos when in that one turn with 4 attacks. Absolutely ripped the shit out of that spider for a good chunk.
Yeah, he did a good bit of damage, didn't he? So I think damage dealer is probably going to be Pontos this week, isn't it? So best supporting role. I mean, we should just rename this best supporting cleric. Deep did lots of healing today. The chat is full of heals that he did for people. Fumble of the week. I don't think there were any fumbles this week.
No.
So that one is not applicable. Most valuable player. I mean, could it be Deep because he killed the only thing you fought?
And
could it be a great guy? Say that again.
Just for being a great guy all around.
Just for being an all-round great guy too. You know, I mean, it's most valuable. Yeah.
What a guy.
What a guy. Oh,
Starts
that's
surfing an alligator. Ace Rimmer, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know, it's
Right.
like what is it called? It's the song about Eddie, isn't it? What a guy, make you cry, and I did.
My brain just went to Ace Rimmer. It's like, it's Ace Rimmer. Oh, what a good...
Arnold, Rimmer more reliable than the garden strimmer.
You'll never mistake him for your Remmer.
He'll never be mistaken for your Brenner and his head. He's not bald, and his head doesn't glimmer. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I'm trying to do the scores here. Who got yoinked? Did we do a yoink?
Well, yoink. I mean, if there was a yoink, it was Deep, because Deep got the kill shot, and Pontos probably did the most damage. So,
Kill streak was Deep again.
I mean, if one kill is a kill streak, then Pontos got it.
No.
Role player of the week.
I'm going to say Boring, just for stepping forward to try and talk his way out of Eternal Damnation. I mean, the previous deal that he had.
I mean, seconded. Boring stepped up and took charge of his own deal. I had I thought that Char was basically going to have to be his advocate and be his lawyer, and actually, you surprised me, Michael. You really got into that, so I'm very pleased and very happy to give you Role Player of the Week for that.
Yeah, I wanted to just set Michael up for and just say, look, they are lawful. You just be careful. I just thought I'd let you see where you went. If I needed to, I could step in. But yeah, you were quite happy to run with that, so that was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I know I overreacted last week. It's my trigger, and then it's like, okay, you can't go in like that. And I've been trying to shut up ever since.
Oh. Well, good on you, man. That's an excellent rally. You got back involved with style, so good lad.
Yeah, cool.
Who got damage dealer?
Pontos.
Yeah. Pontos did some big smashes, and yeah, it was poor old Borin got 2 good hits in, and only did 14 points of damage. So to be fair, you did need a bigger smacky stick. So and now you have one. I will work on creating at least the first level version of this weapon before next week, so you will have something that you can use. It is going to evolve, though. As we were talking about it, I was imagining an axe-flavored version of Soul Calibur from the Soul Calibur video game series with the art.
Yeah, that works.
But when Michael said he wasn't really keen on it having an eye, I was like, oh, okay, that's fair.
When you said eye, I'm thinking like one of those like the Resident Evil animated things when there's like a giant eye on the elbow. It's
that's pretty much it. I mean, if you Google Soul Calibur,
yep.
Soul Calibur is a flesh and weapon hybrid. It is quite unpleasant. So if you're not keen on that, we will make it less like that. I will try to find a picture that suits your vision a bit better.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, John, just in case you are bored and have 5 minutes, I am unattuned to the stuff of defence, and my AC's gone down a point, and attuned to the Wonder Fireball.
Okay, cool. So I need to make a new power card. I know I can probably modify the one I've got.
I've already got a box to keep a tab on the charges if you need to tag onto that for.
I'll do that. I'll probably just rewrite the one I've got if you're unattuning the other one. I'll just kind of alter it slightly so that it does the other thing.
Yep, that's not a problem. I just thought I'd let you know, so you've got a couple of days to tweak with that.
Excellent. Thank you. We had so little fighting today. I hope you didn't mind that we had a very RP heavy session.
we've had about 3-4 weeks of constant battle in that fortress, so a nice bit of role play is always good just to change it. So that's cool. That's no problem at all.
Cool. Right. Well, I will catch you guys in 7 days' time, where we shall
No worries.
where we will no doubt visit the city of Pentagon for the first time, the bustling centre of population and commerce in this small and slightly weird place that I have invented. But
No worries.
I look forward to that. See you guys next week.
Catch you later.
Easy.
Right,
Cheers.
bye.
Bye. Bye.
Don't stick coffin nails in us, Chris.
One for each if I had any.